Today, from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, it's Week 6 of the NFL on EA Sports.
We're across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Washington football team and the New York Giants. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Taken about 7 yards deep. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. And now we see Dwayne Haskins, the Ohio State Buckeye, in his second year in the National Football League, ready to lead this Washington offense.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
And a completion there by Haskins. And you think back to the 2019 draft, both Dwayne and his counterpart on the other sideline, Daniel Jones, first-round picks in that draft. Jones taken 6th, Haskins 15th, and they might be seeing a lot of each other for quite a while here in the NFC East.
4-yard pickup on the play.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 19 carries, 51 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Out of the shotgun, Haskins. That one is slant to McLaurin. The 30, 10, touchdown, Washington.
Pass complete to
Terry McLaurin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And Washington has taken a first-quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned to get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
On the return, Corey Ballantyne. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
On the return, the Giants take over 1st and 10.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Chase Young.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And 2 at the 32-yard line.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Well, Saquon Barkley last year against Washington, he won many a fantasy league with his performance in Week 16. 189 yards rushing. That was the 3rd highest single game total in the NFL all of last season. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. A little costly there. You wipe out the first down. You also move further back.
No doubt about it. So you went from moving the sticks to them staying in the same spot, except for that one guy carrying the yard marker. He moves back farther.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. A first down carry for Barkley won't lead to much as he'll take this forward for maybe a yard. It's 2nd down.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Brings up
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Throwing Jones. Into the hands of the tight end. This is Jordan Thomas. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 9-yard line. It's 33. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A handoff to Barkley. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Taken down right now.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Jones. Jones hit, and the ball's out.
The pass on 2nd down. A fumble.
Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
4th down.
Nice job understanding the situation. 3rd and long, kept the play in front of them and made the tackle. They gave up a good chunk of yardage, but it does force a 4th down.
The kick is good. Makes this Washington 7. Giants.
So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That was about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
At their own.
Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Roughing the passer defense.
You can't do that, man.
Well, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty's going against. But you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
How about a guy proving his worth in different ways? Had the big play in the run game to play before. This time, they go right back to him in the passing game, and he comes through with yet another big play.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Dexter Lawrence in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Here's Haskins out of the gun. He gets it to Sims, complete. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6.
To Steven Sims.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd. From the gun, it's Haskins. Connects here with a tight end, Jeremy Sprinkle. And a big gain that time. He's out of bounds on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. Washington with a football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The throw by Haskins complete to McLaurin. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brings up second.
It's got to be so tough having the ball in the middle of the field like that, knowing that a linebacker is just waiting to make a big tackle like we just saw.
No doubt about it, because...
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Seth Roberts, his first touchdown on the year. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
First and 10 at their own 19.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Jones, and he finds Penny. Jones give him 7 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
25-yard line.
Here's a give to Barkley. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
For a Giants.
It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
4 yards.
You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. And you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
On the carry.
Tackle made by Thomas Davis.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
In your face.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Jones sets up the screen to Lewis. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. And that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
At the 3-yard line.
And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions, because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there, and in a big way.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there. And this time they were waiting for him, as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Evan Ingram, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants able to get this back within a touchdown. He's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. A 10-play drive that time. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown.
To kick off.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25.
Here again comes Dwayne Haskins and company. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes. No interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
They run with a former Buccaneer. It's Peyton Barber. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run with McKissick. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
At the 45-yard line.
A carry now for McKissick. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
The ball carrier. Tackle made at his 48-yard line. A gain of 4 yards.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They go play action with Haskins. Letting one go deep for Rob. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That's a first down and then some, a 32-yard pickup. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Operating from the gun. Haskins. Roberts got it. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His 2nd catch in a row, first down. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. Again, it's Haskins. Complete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
Well, that play certainly took a long time, and that's why a lot of coaches in training camp, they use a whistle or a horn at about 3 seconds because they want the ball in the hands of the quarterback. They want the play to develop quickly and get the ball downfield. This one had to go over 5 seconds holding on to the football, and then he ends up getting hit, and they have an incompletion.
So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal.
Just like that.
Throwing again, here's Haskins. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. From the gun, Haskins. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Dustin Hopkins on for the field goal. A 25-yard.
Hopkins' kick is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The Giants take over 1st and 10. At their own 24.
Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. It's a gain of 7, and it's a 2nd down.
He's out of bounds at the 12-yard line.
4 receivers in the formation here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. 2nd and 3. Now it's Haskins. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Jeremy Sprinkle in the final seconds of the first half. And Washington is able to stretch their lead.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money, in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead now up to 14. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Take over 1st and 10.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
And Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback. New York ready to go again offensively. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Thomas Davis. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. That one is going to sting. First play of the 3rd quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this 3rd quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
Now Haskins. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington.
Complete to
Terry McLaurin. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And Washington able to capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
Partner, they had a good lead as they went in at the half, and they came out here in the second half and found a way to extend it. I love their consistency. Don't worry about what they said at halftime. This seemed like a team that was ready to play 60 minutes, and while this game is far from over, I love their approach.
made at the 25-yard line. The Giants take over 1st and 10.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 37-yard line.
And with the play clock at 5, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Jones. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
They'll try and throw for it here. And it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. From the 39, Haskins. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
It's a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 17-yard line.
They will run it. It's McKissick. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there, but how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Giants 10.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
At the 30.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Eluding the and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Montez Sweat picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Oh, Jones has just thrown his 3rd interception. Picked off by Thomas Davis. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield.
Complete.
It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd.
You don't see too many pass-catching fullbacks nowadays, partner. In fact, you don't see too many fullbacks, period.
Good news, though, he does have decent hands, and we saw it right there on display. A throw over the middle taken in, and they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. You call that a very strong gain of 24.
And goal at the 2-yard line.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just...
And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Jeremy Sprinkle with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the interception by the Washington defense leads to a touchdown.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
On the return. The Giants take over 1st and 10. At their own.
And New York set to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 4 of 7. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
At the 34-yard line.
That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
Sliding out of the pocket. Now he'll let it go deep right side. young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
They go play action now. Haskins. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
A gain of a yard.
Washington on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football. They'll try and run here with Barber. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
They'll go again with McKissick. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
McKissick, the ball carrier.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a gain of
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
The tackle made by Dexter Lawrence. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 15-yard line.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
Made by Dexter Lawrence. It's a loss of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
Here's McKissick. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. And, well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down.
Today's final score.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Washington, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Giants, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.